Well, everybody, unfortunately, we were not able to get Darkwings in for the post-game interview. Our apologies to Darkwings. We'd love to have you on the show next time around, so keep winning. Let's get you on again. But unfortunately, the show does go on. Next up, we have Evil Geniuses Academy versus Team Liquid Academy, so let's start bringing our attention over there and get the elephant out of the room, Cubby. Bjergsen playing in Academy. Quick thoughts here before we can talk about the Academy players.
Yeah, 505 games of LCS, 0 games of Academy. So that's great. We're going to move on from there because we actually want to talk about some of the Academy players that we were prepared to talk about going into this one. And a lot of focus for us actually came down to this jungle matchup. And a big part of that is because Tomio is kind of this new up-and-coming jungler. Armeo has been around for a while, but I think Armeo had a really nice last year, and these two are actually really close. They have a relationship. Tomio, always looked up to Armeo when he was playing in solo queue. Armeo kind of sees Tomio as this, young, up-and-coming solo queue star. Even just today, Tomio is 12th on the ladder right now on his account, really known for his Nidalee play as well. And so there's a lot of friendly banter between them. As Armeo said, I got to beat the crap out of him on the Rift, but has a lot of respect for Tomio as well. So,
yeah, the jungle matchup will be fantastic to watch, especially knowing the player's history. But, Ralph, I'm hearing that we're getting ready to hop into the game, so I want to give some time to talk about the top lane matchup as well. This will be Bradley's debut, moving from mid lane into top lane. Why should we be excited about this player and also excited about the matchup versus Surdy?
Bradley was absolutely killing it on wildcard in the mid lane this past year. And the funny thing is that he was not really on the radar for the mainstream amateur audience, if we can call it that, during the spring split, because yeah, unless you're a fan of collegiate, right? Back when he was CP Freeze, but then gets onto the wildcard roster, the wildcard combine's like, yo, this guy's actually really good. We gotta throw him up there, and then he's just been absolutely killing it. And I think this top lane facilitation can work out well because a lot of the champions that he excelled at in the mid lane are mainly top laners. Gwen, Aurelia, these things he plays
Akali,
with absolute impressiveness. Akali as well. So I think he's going to fit in just fine.
Current meta for sure. And I'm hearing that we're ready to hop into pick and ban. So Cubby, I'll let you explain why Surdy is also going to be an interesting opponent for him to go against as I bid adieu. And good luck, guys, with game number 2.
Wow. Kanga's just giving me hard throws as we, are getting close to diving into the draft. But yeah, I think that Bradley and Surdy are two of the most interesting top lane prospects that we have in Academy this year. Bradley, there was a list made up of Proving Grounds players that had yet to play in LCS. And, we had a prospects list ranking them 1 through 10. Bradley was unanimously number 1 for the most of the summer. Rafa, of course, you are a contributor to that list as well. So when we heard that he was role swapping top to go to Team Liquid, there was some surprise there. But I think that Bradley, as a player, I've had the draft against him. This guy is a nightmare to play against at the collegiate level. He crushed our team. The fact we took a game off them is, probably the best thing that we achieved the past year. But, he's someone that is going to fit into that top lane role rather well. And given the experience that TL has, of course, Rhino was signed this week to step in for Ayla, but there can be a lot of focus put around Bradley because when you have players like Armeo, players like Harry that will be coming over soon once he's able to get in the country with his visa, you can put more focus into kind of those dead pieces. And Bradley is definitely someone that TL wants to put a lot of focus on.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the flip side, as we are into the pick and ban phase, a lot of support bans out of the way, but one of the mid lane champions that has been left up on the table is that Twisted Fate. And when you talk about Soligo, one of his main strengths coming up as one of our top mid lane, prospects as we're looking as at the power rankings early on into the season, Soligo is known for facilitating other sides of the map. And when you're playing with someone like Surdy, who flourishes when you get a lot of resources going and can really be unlocked, this is exactly how you want to play as Evil Geniuses Academy.
Summer of last year, Soligo picked Twisted Fate 6 times and never dropped a game. So putting that on the line against Bjergsen as we move into this season. And yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about. We haven't even talked about the fact that Kaori just got here 5 days ago, right? This is someone from the TCL, an AD carry that has competed against the likes of Luger, another name that you would recognize, of course, now playing for CLG. It was on 100 Thieves Academy last year. I have high hopes for Kaori. I think Kaori can actually be one of the strongest ADs that we have in Academy. And this is our first look at him, our first look at Surdy, Skytech, two promotions from Evil Genius's Prodigies. Tomio and Surdy as a duo with Danny on their team actually took fifth, sixth in Proving Grounds in spring. That's against all the Academy teams as well. I think that Surdy is someone, he has hit number 1 on the ladder in Oceanic. He's been top 5 in Korea. He has insane hands. He loves to go in, and is someone that, given EG's team, given he's back with Tomio, someone that I actually think a lot of people are sleeping on as well in the top lane. I don't know, this matchup, we didn't have a ton of time to set the table for this one, but I think it's going to be a really fun 2 games, Rafa. And as this draft pans on out, looks like a rather safe bot lane for the side of EG, maybe prepping to use that Twisted Fate to get up to the Surdy lane.
You know, I mean, Skytech just trying to take notes from Papa Vulcan, you know, in the lock-in tournament. They saw the massive Vulcan recon plays. Now Skytech seeing if he can muster up a little bit of playmaking of his own. And then Kaori locking down this Jhin, giving him long range to play with as well, and more facilitation of abilities. But it is a Silas answer from Bjergsen. And, you know, Cubby, we've seen this matchup time and time again throughout 2021. Twisted Fate into the Silas. I mean, the Silas, you can grab the Destiny and port alongside the Twisted Fate whenever things get tough.
Looks like this old TSM duo is really going to be taking it to Saligo early on that on that TF. As we now have the support locked in for EG, not for Team Liquid, so I expect potentially some bans being thrown out there, whereas EG is missing that jungler. So trying to protect Armeo a little bit. I think we're going to see a Jarvan ban here as well. And fun fact, actually, about Skytech. That Rakan Rafa, Skytech, so he is from University of Western Ontario, played for Evil Genius's Prodigies in the summer of last year. One of the reasons that he found himself on EGP after the tryout, obviously he did well in that, but one of the ways that he made it into the tryout, he's actually peaked Grandmaster on the ladder playing Rakan mid,
right.
playing AP Rakan mid. So Skytech's Rakan is very good, and I want to see if they pick someone that can go in to try and enable that, as, curiously enough, actually Tomio's Nidalee. Armeo putting some respect on that, and will leave up the Jarvan, which I think looks rather appealing here going into that Jinx.
I mean, Armeo is tuned into Tomio's stream, you know, probably more than any other pro player in the past year or so. So he knows that, you know, even despite the moments where Tomio doesn't have a great game and freaks out, which is amazing content, Tomio does pull off some incredible gameplay when he gets his hands on the Nidalee. And when you already have some powerful CC abilities like the gold card from Twisted Fate and Saligo, that's how you can facilitate powerful 2v2 jungle invades. It's not going to be available, but there's still other junglers on the table. You already mentioned a couple of them, but I'm really looking for either a super powerful split pusher from Surdy, so that you are putting a lot of more details or abilities. Oh, and the Akali, we talked about this before, and there it is, Cubby. Tell me about the Chem Tank Akali tech, because we've been seeing it.
You know, I really didn't want to talk about this unless we saw it on stream, because I really don't want it to bleed in the solo queue, because it is a very oppressive build. It's not fun to play against, as we could be getting something very creative here.
Wait.
Maybe a shout out to Lehens, as we are hovering the Singe. Not expecting this out of Tomio jungle.
Okay.
It's going to be the Viego. Returning to the Akali, though. So what makes Tank Akali so insane is that you pretty much, if you have Turbo Chem Tank and Demonic Embrace, they help complement each other rather well. Same with the Shadow Flame. And overall, you get this really tanky, Magic Pen heavy build where you're able to get off more Qs because you're able to stay alive longer as Akali. Her base damages aren't that bad, especially if you land your E, and she is insane. So,
yeah.
Okay, speaking of a little bit insane.
Oh, man. Well, Bradley really throwing down the gauntlet against Surdy, who technically, they never played against each other before in lane, since Bradley was a mid laner during 2021, but now Bradley is saying, all right, you got the Turbo Chem Tank Akali. That's okay. I've got Tryndamere. I'm going to spin win. And we've already seen Tryndamere really pop up in the LCK, if you've been tuning into that region.
Into Graves is where we see it most often, but I am curious to see it into the Akali. One thing I do like about it is with the Ghost and the Flash, if Twisted Fate ports up, you can get away from it. Which is a nice perk here for Bradley. And I think it's going to be kind of tough for EG. I mean, a lot of this is about playing through the gold cards and trying to find some resets for Viego Team Liquid do have a lot of ways to defend against that, given Silas gets ultimates, and the fact that, Xin Zhao, Tryndamere have good ways to stay alive, especially against range.
When we were talking about what type of champions Bradley was going to be busting out in this top lane, and we mentioned the three, the Tryndamere was not on one of them,
No.
but this is one that
we
when
surprised.
it is catered to, and if Bjergsen plays more of a facilitating role coming down to fill in, since Harry is not able to join Team Liquid Academy at this time, this is where the leadership and the experience that Bjergsen obviously brings can really help a new blood like Bradley get off the table.
Yeah, 505 games of LCS, first Academy game. That has to be a record. I didn't check that with our stats team that, we may or may not have, but I'm just going to self-declare that as a record. But we want to focus more about the Academy players. If you would have caught LCS the past couple days, you would have heard plenty about Bjergsen. So we're going to shine some light on some of the new talent that we have here, especially some of the exciting ones on TL Squad, given Bradley, Yon, who had a very respectable game, even in the loss, where he played on stage for the lock-in, and Rhino, the newest addition to the TLA squad, who was there in 2020 summer and has continued to develop in PG, qualified for Proving Grounds both times with Zeus Gaming this past year, and finds himself back on the TL roster. I know it's something that, from talking with our coach Spawn, he was really excited about getting him in this team, in this environment. Really thinks that Rhino has a high ceiling.
Oh, yeah. If you did not get a chance to catch the Zeus Gaming matches with Rhino on them, I distinctly remember one against, I want to say, maybe it was Wildcard Gaming, where Rhino just had
set into the Oriana.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
we know what we're talking about.
That snap engage. And I distinctly remember Griffin, their jungler at the time, saying, "Okay, guys, we don't win this fight." And then Rhino's like, "Yeah, we do." And not saying anything, it just flashes forward immediately, and you just hear Griffin go, "Oh, okay, I guess we win." Rhino's just built that different, man.
Curiously enough, Surdy actually is starting with the E in that matchup, as we're going to be doing some learning as well. Some catch-up to do on the games. We were teasing some of the new players. Both junglers starting on the top side, as it looks like they're pathing towards bot. Makes sense for me, given the fact that there is a Nautilus in the game. Pathing towards a Nautilus lane always feels good as a jungler. And in terms of what we're expecting early, I think our eyes are really on Soligo, and if EG can kind of impact these sides and actually get out of lane, because if they don't, I get really scared for what Tryndamere can do at later stages.
Definitely not the most fun or interactive to play with, or against, I should say. Especially when the Undying Rage is available post level 6. You think you person him down, and then he's immortal, and then he chops you down with critical strikes, and then he just spins away. And for Team Liquid, because you have important split-pushing pieces that you can set up for a 1v3 later on in the game, it's really about how Armeo can protect these two side laners in the beginning and make sure that Tomio doesn't get the leg up, or if Soligo tries to pay a little bit of a visit before Bradley gets to level 6.
And Bradley is able to get these early waves, the shove into Akali, especially with Surdy scaling E. But Surdy, given the fact that both junglers have passed away, I think rather nice. Bjergsen.
Oh my. Bjergsen saying,
he canceled that.
Hey, Soligo. You got to be careful when messing with me. Bjergsen having a huge wave crashing in as well. It's going to be quite a difficult spot for Soligo to bounce back from.
I love how Armeo pulled that wave, too. Like, they're freezing it in front of that turret, so Bjergsen gets some extra free time. Really good teamwork from, of course, the old duo from the TSM days. Have some experience playing together there. And I know that for Armeo, I mean, this is someone where Armeo has been playing a little bit longer. Definitely one of the more experienced and more strong players that we have in Academy. But I know from talking with him, he feels like, him not getting an LCS spot, which is really the next step for Armeo, getting that full time. He's like, you know what? I didn't play well enough individually. That's kind of what he said about his past year. And he said, for 2022, I'm hoping to improve enough individually so I can get strong enough and be considered this upcoming year. He wants to win Proving Grounds as a part of that. And something else he added, which I really enjoyed. He said, even though I've been playing for a while, last year was the most I've improved as a player in a single year. And I think that he was an imperative part of Team Liquid Academy's success, as this team dominated Academy last year, especially when they had that full roster in with Jenkins and Armeo.
And there's no limit to how much you can grow as a player, regardless of how many years you've already been playing it competitively. I mean, especially now that Armeo knows that there's a lot of new junglers entering the Academy system. He's got to make sure that he is not only finding ways that he can grow, to make sure that he's not outpaced by any of the exciting, fresh new talent, but also making sure that he stays at the top of that food chain for junglers. We are now 5 minutes into the game, Cubby. Not much action outside of the potential almost all-in from Bjergsen against Soligo, but we're hitting level 6 marks in just... not quite yet, but in the next minute, Soligo should be level 6, Bjergsen will be level 6 as well, and I expect that's where we're going to see some early plays, maybe around the bottom side of the map where the dragon is spawned.
Dragon is on the board, as it's the chem tank, so fortunately no soul for that. And it looks like, given the reset here from Soligo, this could be a window that Armeo could look to take this, but instead will actually be retreating to the Wolves. And looks like a quiet early game still here for TL, but do have an engage on Rhino. That lands. Ignite.
Ignite. Deadly Flourish as well, rocking him down. Rhino has the flash away. A flash from Skytech. That's first blood for the new Evil Geniuses Academy support. And Surdy maybe finding the soul kill as well. Evil Geniuses are popping off.
I love the preemptive flash from Kaori to get over that zap, and then Surdy, we talked about how Surdy likes to play aggressive. Guess what? He hits 6. Tryndamere doesn't have it. Immediately, all in, finds the kill onto Bradley, and just like that, EG strikes across the map.
Huge wins on the side lanes for Evil Geniuses. However, it's a port from Bjergsen trying to catch out Surdy, knowing that Surdy stayed a little too long in that side lane despite getting the solo kill, and he cleans it up for Team Liquid.
Well played there from Bjergsen. If any TL fans are watching, yeah, his hands are still pretty good. It's Academy, but yeah, we have high expectations for Bjergsen in this game. Nice response in the top lane to really help out Bradley. And that's no TP for Surdy. So if Bradley is able to crash the next wave, that actually is a lot of resources taken away from Surdy's Akali, who is going for that Turbo Chem Tank build that we talked about earlier in this game.
Dragon has not been secured by either team yet, and the Rift Herald will be spawning in a minute's time. So I wonder if Evil Geniuses, with this bottom lane advantage they've secured off of First Blood, are they going to hold off on trying to go for the Dragon and make sure that they can get a reset in for Skytech, allow him to pivot towards the top side of the map so that they can have control over the Rift Herald instead?
Soligo is hovering top side at the moment. Could be because he wants the blue buff, but I still expect a lot of action here around Bradley, as Surdy already playing this lane very rather volatilely, which is what we've come to expect from Surdy. As Surdy, I don't want to compare him to Jojo Pion, because it's hard to compare people to Jojo. But in terms of, if you watched Academy last year, and you might have seen Jojo Pion having some games where he went 10-1 and 1-10, sometimes in the same series, which did happen. That's kind of been Surdy in Proving Grounds. And the highs that he's able to hit as a player are rather insane. And then sometimes he has trouble getting there. So I want to see if Surdy can really grow in terms of his consistency this year. I think it is a big opportunity for him and EG to really prove that he can be the superstar on the Rift that he has been in solo queue across the world.
And definitely, if you got a chance to see what Evil Geniuses prodigies were before, or I guess before Evil Geniuses technically picked them up from what was Zenith Esports, and then during, I want to say, Risen Finals of Fall 2020. Just about a year and a half ago, Surdy with the famous Kennen play in that series, just being able to demolish people across left, right, and center. And we know that Surdy has the ceiling, and just being able to find the ways to tone up the consistency so that he can just always be such a high-value player. As Team Liquid trying to go for this invade onto Tomio's jungle. Armeo looks like he's going to be able to sneak away this red buff and take it away from Evil Geniuses, as they do not have a way to contest.
And that's just good team play coming out of TL, right? You can see that bot wave. They were under their turret, rotate as a squad, take that red away. Good to see Armeo taking that away from Tomio, who, I mean, once again, right, these guys, they are friends. They get along really well, but for Armeo specifically, he said, I need to destroy him in game, right? He doesn't just want to win. He wants to destroy Tomio. So good to see him getting up in the face of the jungle there and also securing the first dragon of the game for Team Liquid.
You know, it's one thing to always... Obviously, you want to win games, no matter who you play against, but it's even more fun when you win against friends, as Surdy is going to force out the Undying range for Bradley. Ignite is ticking away as well, and Bradley cannot engage in the fight once again. Meanwhile, Tomio's on the other side. Soligo porting up as well. There's no Undying range anymore. It's just an easy cleanup for Soligo. Does have the flash away, making sure that the turret shot does not click him on the last one, but another double win across both side lanes, Cubby.
I like the fact that you bring that up, right? Able to make an impact on the bot side with Tomio's Viego, and then, of course, Twisted Fate. You get the cheap pressure. Gets to go up top as Bjergsen looking to respond yet again. He has made his way up here. Surdy. He juked him.
Bjergsen, he might have the burn flash. No! The Op's going to abduct. Does not connect. And Surdy's able to make it out alive this time around.
That's big. No response this time. That means that you can see Armeo properly rotating to make sure that he's able to catch this wave in the mid lane. But still, that's resources gone to the wayside for the side of TL as they're looking to respond on this Soligo, who did have to burn flash, but a good hover from SkyTech prevents TL from going in.
Heads up from Team Liquid trying to make a punish on that play, but it's responded, as you already said, by SkyTech to make sure that he's able to defend his mid laner, who is down a summoner spell at this point. If we take stock of what items are being completed, it is the chem tank that we've been alluding to. And if Cubby's explanation wasn't good enough for you folks at home, make sure you go check out @SmackSide on Twitter. He made a video talking all about the chem tank and the Demonic Embrace build and how that interacts, and shows the numbers as well.
You know what? Just go check out maybe General Sniper. He went legendary in on this Tank Akali build in a Proving Grounds game, and it was yeah, he's pretty good. Not old enough to play in this league yet, but if you want to go see the rank 1 player from this past year in action, check out the Academy stream on Mondays or Tuesdays.
Get more Proving Grounds action. You get to see, you know, we had a lot of exciting talent come up on the Academy class this year for 2022. There's still more exciting talent that didn't get a chance to get into Academy this year, but also just new blood that is rising up already. So this is why I love NA development, and I think this is an exciting time. As Tomio making his approach onto Yon. He has Cleanse available and Flash available, but will he be able to get out of everything here? SkyTech flashing forward, making sure he locks him down with the quickness. And, you know, you said before, SkyTech known for this recon, and damn, he's making it look good.
I really like the patience from SkyTech there. Did burn the Flash, but wanted to make sure that that play connected as that's a 2-minute rinse and repeat from Tomio. It's now Surdy.
And they have 3 members here. Surdy, wait a minute. Wow! Surdy pulling off the escape of the 1v3.
Oh my god, he just jumped right over the Abscond Abduct with that ultimate. That's big too. That was a lot of resources committed from TL on the top side to try and respond, but EGA, they dodge out on it yet again. We talked about how they had to be the ones dictating sides. They had to be the ones to make some assertive plays early. The fact that the last 2 attempts on the top side onto Surdy have not worked out have really helped open up this 2.5K gold lead early for EGA, and they're in a position where they spike soon. They can utilize this Jhin, rotate around the map with Twisted Fate to really make life difficult as Bradley has all.
Yeah, but Bradley, the fact that he's forced to use the Undying Rage when Surdy did not have access to perfect execution. I'm not gonna lie, Cubby, I was a little scared. But Surdy, knowing his limits, knowing the matchup extremely well, and with this first item power spike in the chem tank, making him so durable, so hard to take down in Bradley's shoes, and forcing him away. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, when you apart from now from the Surdy matchup, you look across the board, everyone is down CS, either a minimal amount or a decent sized amount in each of the lane counterbars. But because of the team coordinated plays from Evil Geniuses in the first 13 minutes of this so far, they've not only eclipsed those leads, but they have a solid gold lead overall as a team, 2,000 at 13 minutes.
I do like this though from Team Liquid. Rhino, Armeo working together as Tomio is able to smite that one away. But not only working together to contest these camps, but also get ready for the next dragon as Rhino.
Oh no, Rhino doesn't even have a chance to flash away, and Tomio's going to take that Nautilus. If he can get in range, going to dredge line all over. Has flash available, also has another Heartbreaker available, but that turret will be able to provide enough defense for the rest of the Team Liquid squad. They're not going to be run down any further, but still, more and more moves being made by Evil Geniuses, giving them a further advantage.
I think importantly enough, they could take the next dragon as Yawn. Oh,
Oh,
no!
Yeah, he doesn't have summoners from before. After the dive they made just a couple minutes ago, chunked about a third of his HP. Armeo is here, so it means no more funny business on the dive against Yawn. But Evil Geniuses, the threat is just crazy right now.
Rhino is back. Sodigo does not have access to that ultimate anymore, but he does have mid priority as Bjergsen was hovering top, and now he's walking to try and shift that pressure into the bot side. Crab taken, though, pretty important for Armeo. It means that if Sodigo, he can't cross without being seen, so it looks like EG are going to back off and not attempt the dragon either. I'm wondering if they do it before they reset, as they have a rather favorable map state considering how chunked out Yawn is at the moment.
Solid 3,000, 4,000 gold lead now for
Yeah, here
Evil
we go.
Geniuses Academy at 15 minutes. Undying Rage is available. Bradley's not in any immediate danger, but Surdy taking this recall. Teleport is available for him. Bradley, because he's running the Tryndamere, this is the Ghost Flash Summoner spell setup, so he's not going to have any ability to answer on the other side of the map in case Surdy wanted to join a party.
And this is big for Team Liquid, or I should say EG, right? Taking that dragon. They will give away second Rift Herald, but that's first brick secured from their bot lane, of course, with a little bit of help from their friends across the Rift. But I know Kaori and Skytech, a lot of people haven't seen Kaori's VODs from his time in TCL. Skytech, brand new from EG Prodigies. A lot of people were kind of wondering what he would look like in Academy. Taking this first brick against Yawn, one of the stronger marksmen that we have. Of course, Rhino is brand new. Get used to this thing, but still, good luck from EGA early.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that I was a little skeptical about Skytech coming into this first match, because when we got a chance to see Skytech come in for Evil Geniuses Prodigies during the summer, I saw mixed results, and I never saw as much as games on the Recon. And you talked about how this Recon is definitely a huge comfort pick for him. If we go into the next game and we get Skytech on a different champion, I'm really curious to see how well the performance and the confidence is spread among the champion pool. But this is really turning a lot of my concerns that I had for the champion around, and Skytech is really impressing me with the playmaking he's been able to do so far.
Want to see if EG can continue to snowball, as at the moment TL grouped up as 4. They do have a Rift Herald in the pocket of Armeo, so I think they're looking to make a play off that. Will not be the case. Instead, plays on to Bjergsen.
So he's saying, hey, Bjergsen, remember all the times you visited me in the top lane? Well, this is payback for that. Ignite second down. Oh, but Bjergsen doesn't go down. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to take down him.
Oh, just barely able to sneak on out of there. That's big, though. That's an ultimate from Sodigo down, and they do get Bjergsen's flash, but at least no blood, because they could have pressured that turret quite a bit. Said not the case. TL had the chance to regroup, reset, and try and make first play, which for them seems to still be around this top side, as they have rotated Yawn and Rhino up here. Try and contest the bot lane. Would not be surprised to see Armeo hover as well. Still has that Rift Herald. And I think that has to be the plan for TL, right? Group up, make a play, use Rift Herald to try and get 2 turrets or at least 2 crashes afterwards, and use that to get yourself back in this game, as they've fallen 4K behind.
Oh, well, they want to go for a dive here, but Armeo's waiting in the wings and Fog of War, so Evil Geniuses, as soon as they see the jungler from Team Liquid Academy, they say, all right, our bad. We thought that this was a cool dive that we could pull off, but, you know, we know that now Armeo's going to make sure that that does not come to fruition here, but they're going to look for a delayed invade here onto the red buff. Skytech looking for the grand entrance, not necessarily finding the knockup on Armeo, but Smite comes down. Looks like Soligo is actually the one that walks away with the red buff. It's the last auto attack securing it away, and it's a jungle resource denied away from Armeo.
I didn't know you could grab a red buff with those wild cards. That's pretty OP if you get to rotate through that.
Oh,
and find
whoa,
red
whoa,
buff.
whoa, 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 whoa,
no.
whoa, 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 whoa! Oh no, Armeo, he has flash. Might be able to get over the wall. Megadeth Rocket is not going to do that much to save the jungler from certain death. And Tomio is walking away as Soligo picks up another kill.
And EG, that was a mistake from TL, but still, they keep on finding ways to snowball this lead forward. And I think importantly enough, when you take down Armeo there, I think one of the reasons Armeo is kind of reaching on the map because he has that Rift Herald, right? I think he wanted to throw that down mid, try and get a crash off, try and get at least some chip damage off of that mid outer turret. Now that he's in the death chamber, he pretty much has to just throw that thing down when he respawns. So Team Liquid not able to sync up and get a steady play around this Rift Herald either this game. that's another window that EG have been able to punish and continue to push this one forward, Rafa, as I think that this game is going against a lot of our fans' expectations, especially any of the Team Liquid fans that are here to maybe watch Bjergsen play some more games.
And definitely quelling my expectations as well. I won't lie, I was expecting this kind of scoreboard, but just flipped around, you know? But the fact that Evil Geniuses Academy have come up with this kind of response, their first match, the first 19 minutes, 20 minutes of the game, it's not necessarily game over for Team Liquid Academy. Quite a huge deficit they have to work with. Sturdy trying to defend this turret. That's a lot of damage. Super Mega Death Rocket. Sturdy doesn't go down quite yet, but Bjergsen maybe wants to look for it. Abscond. Does he look for the abduct? But Tomio's there to protect his top laner from going down. Everrosh Fruit down. Heartbreaker might be enough to get enough damage, but Tomio has to use his own Heartbreaker to get out of the way. Armeo popping the Crescent Guard. Rift Herald's making their second crash onto the Tier 2 turret, and they still want to continue the damage because Bradley is here. He finds a shutdown on Tomio, and just like this, Bradley is going to continue pushing the advantage forward. Has the Undying Rage. He wants to dive further, but Kaori now has the curtain call. The rest of the members of Team Liquid have to back on up here and do... Oh my goodness, so much damage from Kaori. Bjergsen falls as well. Sturdy coming back with a full HP bar to be able to answer back for the dive. Armeo is gone as well. It's a triple for Kaori.
Welcome to North America, Kaori, as those Jin shots from the curtain call were so good at just weaving them around the hitboxes, able to find all the members of TL, and guess what? They were able to make that Rift Herald play, but they go down on the back half, overextending. This opens up the Baron for EG. They're going to ignore that Dragon, say, we want the big purple worm, and I think they have the damage to take it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any member from Team Liquid will be able to answer back. Jan is trying to solo out the Dragon and make the best use of his time. Not even trying a Super Mega Death Rocket Baron Steel. You know, I respect it. Just focusing efforts. You don't want to give any indication of where you are on the map, especially since they are on the Fog of War. And despite the Baron going over to Evil Geniuses Academy, Team Liquid are able to walk away with a consolation prize.
And I mean, it just feels like they were never able to get off the ground, right? Like a big part of Nautilus, especially in this meta, is making sure that you can actually make those proactive plays to rotate around the map. As I know that we do have a replay going on right now. Bradley, Bjergsen, trying to be the big boys in the back of the base, but oh man, Kaori, watch this bullet on the Bradley. It just weaved around Bjergsen, then able to pick up the Nautilus. A beautiful deadly flourish on the Bjergsen, and Team Liquid were just routed on the overextension there.
Trying to bite off more than they could choose. We should be heading back to live. Sturdy might be in a pickle here. That's 4 members diving him under one turret, and Sturdy knows there's no way that he outplays this, right? Wait a minute, Sturdy. Okay, Bjergsen. We've seen Bjergsen pull off Akali executions as well, and he knows where to find him after that one. It did take a lot of resources, though, and already Evil Geniuses responding on the top and middle lanes of the map.
A good trade for EG, right? They take the mid inner. They're also going to take the top inner as well. And Soligo will rejoin his team. They do have to be careful about if Armeo rotates behind them, but Armeo going to hit base. Bradley might get the objective bounty on the bot lane, but overall, I still like this for EG. And as long as Bradley's showing down here, EG can still walk forward, can still push forward, and they're going for the mid inhibitor turret.
They know there's no resources, as many resources from Team Liquid, right? They expended a couple ultimates going for the dive onto Sturdy. Now, Soligo might be locked up here by Bjergsen, but he doesn't have the hijack available, so he has to back on away. Bradley trying to get as many objective bounties as he can on the split push. Team Liquid Academy saying, you know what? Let's try to get that turret, try to get some gold back into our pockets. But now this is an inhibitor falling at the cost of that trade. And Evil Geniuses Academy might be able to pick up 2 inhibitor turrets if they continue this push. They try to lock him down. Rhino starting off the engage. Bjergsen here with the quickness as he hijacked it away from Skytech, but that's a lot of damage coming down onto this turret. Huge Mega Death Rocket from Jan. He might be able to look for the resets. Bjergsen looking for one more Abscon Abduct. Tomio now on the run, on the chase. Everfrost is going to lock him down, but Bjergsen does fall. Wildcard from Soligo is going to be enough damage, and Tomio now has the resets of his own. Does he go look for a back? Oh my god, Evil Geniuses Academy turning around. Tomio looking for one more Heartbreaker, and Soligo and Kaori, they're just cleaning things up. Suddenly, all 4 members of Team Liquid Academy are gone. It's just Bradley. It's all 5 gone. Evil Geniuses Academy with death timers this long coming. They just might end the game right here.
Tomio going golden saved his own life, enabled himself to get the reset, and Kaori was free hitting the whole time on this Jhin. We've got 12 seconds on Bjergsen. I'm wondering if they're going to stick around for the Nexus turret as they are low.
This is really risky.
Yeah.
I think Evil Geniuses Academy, they say, you know what? Unfortunately, we don't do enough damage to the turrets, but they take down one, and that opens up the base a lot for Evil Geniuses Academy.
And I think, I mean, I like to see this from EGA because if there was one way to maybe describe EGA this last year, you know, in 2021, it would have been sometimes out of control, right? And things almost got out of control for them in this replay, but Tomio going golden here really saves everything for EG because it enables him to get the reset. And then Tomio, the mechanic, the person who is 12 on the ladder right now, able to see the play, dive back in, take those kills, keep on getting those resets, and keep on pushing this game forward for EGA as they're now up 9k gold, Rafa, 25 minutes into the game, and it feels like Team Liquid don't have any more plays up their sleeve. I mean, I really don't know what else they can do besides just four-man gank someone or maybe give Bradley enough time to split. They're just getting routed left, right, and center.
You know, there were a lot of threats that we were already alluding to as the early game came out in favor of Evil Geniuses Academy over the course of that first 15 minutes. A lot of those kills going over to Tomio and Surdy, Sligo also facilitating it. But Kaori was quietly just picking up so much resources. And then in the last two big team fights, Cubby, Kaori is just knocking people down so effortlessly. This is a hell of a way to come onto the big stage in North America for the Academy season. Curtain call opening up, forcing members of Team Liquid away as they are pelting away at this last inhibitor tower.
Good to see them make sure the other waves are fixed up. He was able to push in mid as Rhino throws out the depth charge to stall a wave. Gale Force away from Kaori was needed.
Rhino was fishing forward and engage right there on the Kaori, but he's able to back on up. Gale Force was used. Will be down for the next 60 seconds here. No flash available, no heal available, so summoners are not here for Kaori. Things that Team Liquid Academy can take note of if Rhino just wants to flash forward and lock down Kaori and send him into a CC chain. But there's still a minion wave pushing in through the mid wave. A flash from a Mayo 3 talent strike on the Sligo. That's the mid laner gone. No more gold cards available. Surdy and Tomio, they're split up away from Kaori. Skytech already bites the dust as well. And Team Liquid Academy, they are not going down without a fight in this first game.
Love the decisiveness there from Armeo, someone who is the most experienced person on this roster besides Bjergsen, of course, subbing in for this game, but he's the one that pulls the trigger. He's the one that finds the flashless Sligo. And the fact that the Twisted Fate goes down first, the strategy for EGA this entire game has been play off gold card, right? You take those out of the equation, EGA's top collapses, and now it's going to be a really awkward game state as it's barren for Team Liquid Academy, but it's going to be triple inhibs as well they're staring at.
Super minions for Team Liquid that they have to deal with. Objective bounty secured. They're still down 6,000 gold here. And if they're gonna hope that Evil Geniuses Academy are light on the base siege, and maybe they can farm up all these double super minions that are gonna be coming into every single lane. It's the second dragon that is being picked up for Evil Geniuses Academy, and I imagine going into the next fight in this siege and push against Team Liquid Academy to close out this game, they are going to be more respectful of the ability from Team Liquid to find a snap engage.
And they do have to be careful because the scaling up Team Liquid this game between Bradley and Sides, between Yawn on the Jinx with a pretty big front line between the Xin Zhao and the Silas, depending on which ultimate Bjergsen decides to grab. It's not an easy team fight for EG if they're walking into the base, right? And we kind of saw that there. When Team Liquid is able to fight on the ramp where things get narrower, it's a lot harder for EG to kind of use the terrain to form different angles and collapse upon Team Liquid Academy. So I think that how TL took that fight was really good. That ended up saving them, buying them a lot of time, buying them a lot of objective bounties. Because now they're going to buy even more cooldowns as they get Sligo's ultimate. He's running away from Bjergsen.
Actually looks for a red card. Everfrost, Rue.
Skytech.
Just Oh, SkyTech looking for the angle
Nice.
here. Rhino stops him in his tracks. Crescent Guard also popped available, keeping damage to a minimum thanks to the range advantage. Curtain Call looking for slowing bullets.
Oh, Surdy.
Oh, but Surdy on the flank. Nice first cast of the perfect execution. Is going to cause Team Liquid to flee. They're still on the run here, and you've got super minions pouring in through the mid and the bottom wave. Jan can't even join the fight in the escapade, as he has to deal with the supers that are pouring in.
Oh,
but
TP.
teleport flame for Bjergsen. He has access to perfect execution.
They don't know.
We've seen this before, time
They
and
don't
time
know.
again. Evil Genius's Academy, are they
Here,
going to
now
get a
they-
taste? Bjergsen holding the trigger here. Not going to go for the perfect execution as a teleport answer from Soligo. He will join the fight, and they'll knock down this inhibitor once again.
Green Hibs, I don't know if they can stick around, though, and actually go for the win as Jan. We see the one AoE rocket. That's now an Infinity Edge completed. They're hitting even harder, and we can see EGA. They don't feel comfortable enough walking through that ramp again to try and take the last inhibitor. So it will still be 2 side lane inhibitors down, but EGA, they're going to call it quits. They're going to reset, spend their gold, try and get back out onto the map. As I mean, Team Liquid, the fact they won that fight and got the Baron bounty, it's at least made this a competitive game.
We were ready to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, after the ace, I thought that Tomio and Kaori would have enough damage to knock down the 2 Nexus turrets. And it was only just the one that they were able to manage to get off. And the gold lead at this point, at 30 minutes into the game, while still in Evil Genius's Academy's favor, it's not the biggest thing in the grand scheme
Nope.
of situations here. Now that we've hit the scaling points for multiple champions for the side of Team Liquid Academy.
This is going to be a difficult game for EG to finish. I mean, I really think they have to try and punish a member of TL who might be overextended on sides, because it's Infinity Edge now and Navori Quick Blades for Bradley, so he's going to be hitting extra hard. Bjergsen got a Zanya's. He can buy more time for Jan, who has the Hurricane and the Rapid Fire Cannon. Keep in mind, most of EG, this is a shorter range composition outside of course, the Jin and the Twisted Fate. So if Jan is able to free hit, if EG aren't able to pull off a clean engage and try and find that first kill to get Viego resets, Team Liquid's comp is heavily preferred at this point of the game, and is what is really going to make things difficult for EG, because it's not like they have that Dragon Soul to go for. Keep in mind, Team Liquid got the 1 Dragon early and then got the Mountain Dragon when they took the first Baron. So EG still have a long ways to go if they want to wrap up this game, as they're grouping up yet again.
Zonya's Hourglass is available both for the side laners of Evil Genius's Academy. Does make things a little bit more difficult for Team Liquid to reliably assassinate or burst out any of these solo laners here. GA also available for Kaori, as well as both of his summoner spell. He is priority target number 1 if you are Team Liquid Academy, because Kaori has been pumping out so much consistent damage in these fights, and oftentimes unchecked. They've been diving for Soligo, diving for Surdy, diving for Tomio, and Kaori has been free hitting to his content, if lack for a better term.
And I mean, look at some of the consequences of EG not winning off that initial push, right? Bradley, level 18. Jan, 1 level up on Kaori. Same with Rhino. Team Liquid, they've really caught up. I mean, yeah, they're down 4K gold, but they've hit their item spikes. And I like the scaling they have as EG. It shows you that, I mean, honestly, how good of a game this ended up being for our Academy opener between both these squads, that EG had a really clean snowball going, and then one mistake, Team Liquid might be able to punish it all the way back to get this game in their favor. We do have this Dragon spawning in 10 seconds, but with that top lane and Hib still down, and Bradley not having TP, I feel like Team Liquid are just going to hand this one over to EG.
Yeah, there's a Baron in 30 seconds, though, and Team Liquid Academy, if they forfeit the Dragon, understandably, they might take this opportunity to look for vision control on the top side of the map and make it harder for Evil Genius's Academy to take that objective on the board. And right now, Team Liquid, apart from Surdy, they have first say into this part of the map. They're going to be able to lay down their control wards first, or look for any vision control, but they have to always answer to the super minions that are pouring in through the top side of the map. Tomio looking for a flank, Bjergsen rotating on over as well, but Soligo is pressuring through the bottom half of the map as well.
You can see those zaps from Jan. Now quick on the trigger, as he is level 17 on the Jinx. Hitting pretty hard is Kaori.
Whoa, okay.
Okay.
Deadly Flourish right as well. Curtain Call might find Bradley on the escape route. He already popped the Undying Rage. Surdy looking for The perfect execution. He finds it. Shutdown is huge for Surdy. Popping the Zonya's hourglass is going to give Evil Geniuses Academy enough time to fall in and provide the reinforcements necessary. It is down to only Bjergsen and Armeo, and I don't think it's just going to be enough. Bjergsen already finds one on the Skytech, but it's not the damage dealers that he has to worry about. Tomio, Kaori, and Soligo still alive to push it in for a Game 1 win in Evil Geniuses Academy.
And what a debut for Kaori, 8-0-9. Welcome to NA. Over from the TCL, looking good in this one as he was the one that made sure that EG was able to find that angle, chunking out Bradley, chasing him down on the Tryndamere. Man, what a good play from him. He saw some great angles in this game, Roth. I think it was one of the big differences that helped EGA take down TLA in this Game 1.
It's almost a damn shame that we didn't get more time to really properly give him an introduction before the draft, right? Because we obviously we were super excited about, you know, the players that we knew, that we saw grew up in NA, Surdy, Tomio, Skytech as well, right? But Kaori, I mean, really, I feel kind of bad that I didn't hype him up even more alongside you. So now I'm gonna have to look at more footage and just really appreciate this impressive performance that he pulls off in Game 1.
I had some things prepped if he picked the right champion.
I know you did.
He's been here for 5 days. Let's take it easy on him. But honestly, I mean, that was a heck of a first game coming out from Kaori. I liked the game plan a lot from EGA as well. Keep in mind, that was Skytech and Tomio really working together to make sure that Kaori was in that position to be ahead, and Kaori did a lot of work with that gold as this game went on.
Take a look at a couple
TLA,
of your plays over
I
the
think
past,
they were
past
unanimous
year.
favorites. I know they had a
just
lot
gotta
of roster
walk me
changes
through
going into this week 1 with Rhino and
you were
Bjergsen stepping
thinking.
in. I know they also play with a rather integrated
Anything
unit
you
with
love
their
these
LCS,
plays
a lot of
when
switching
they're
given
actually
Ayla
happening.
and John's switching time, but I don't think people expected EGA to put up that clean of a Game 1 against one of the top teams that we have in the league subbing in Bjergsen, but EGA did just that, and props to them. I mean, a really good game coming out of some of their new members, and also Soligo's Twisted Fate. Reason that it was undefeated last summer seems to be doing good things on that champion yet again early in this one.
That makes 7 games now, though, right? Undefeated on the Twisted Fate. So Soligo keeping the win record very clean, still going into the new year. And all the new changes in Academy, all the new talent, Soligo still keeping things just the same. When we come back after this break, we will be resuming with our Game 2 of the series between Team Liquid Academy and Evil Geniuses Academy. Stick around. We'll be right back.